Hey guys, my name is Cameron Ramsey. 7 years ago, I had to decide, who do you want to introduce you for your state FFA officer retiring address? It was super easy for me. I chose my baby brother and best friend, Lee Padgett. At that time, we were at the convention center, or the Brooks Center at Clemson, and I just remember how nervous he was to go on stage in front of the entire state association and not only introduce me, but speak. Things have definitely changed since that time. If you've gotten to know Lee over the last year, or even before he became a state FFA officer, he walks into a room and everybody knows it. He's got tons of charisma, lots of spunk. He's not afraid of hard work, but most of all, he can make you laugh. I'm so excited to see where Lee's future takes him, and I'm so proud of him for his year of service, even though this year hasn't exactly been what we had all hoped. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my best friend, my little brother, and the funniest guy you'll ever meet, Lee Padgett.
Let's take a moment and think of our favorite song. It might be Tyler Childers, Leonard Skinner, AC/DC. Whatever it is, just take a moment and think of how it goes, how long it is, or maybe even the mood and tone. If I had to choose, my favorite song would be The Red Dirt Road by Brooks and Dunn. This song does a great job of outlining the high and low spots we all have in our lives. From the happy times that made us smile when he's talking about walking to church on Sunday morning and racing back to Johnson's fence, or the tough times whenever he's talking about wrecking his first car and tearing it to pieces. Now let's go back to your song. It's made up of verses, which are made up of chords, which are made up of notes. And all of these notes are used to write our life song. They may be happy or sad, but they're all used to make us who we are. Let's go back to a time when I was 8 years old. I used to ride with my sister Cameron to her guitar lessons in West Columbia. It would seem like a lifetime when she went in there to practice, and I would get so tired of sitting out on the hot sidewalk watching cars go up and down the road. My grandpa realized that I wasn't exactly entertained, so he came up with a game. We would find small rocks and pieces of asphalt and throw them at the storm drain in the corner of the parking lot. Now this may seem strange or insignificant, but to me it had a lasting effect on how I appreciate the small things in life. That time that I spent throwing rocks down the storm drain taught me so much, because my grandpa didn't have to find anything for his 8-year-old grandson to do, but he did. And to most, it wouldn't mean anything. They may be meaningless on their own, but it had such an impact on me. I know we'd like to only remember the good times, but we're going to mess up, we're going to fail, and we're going to have hardships. I remember a specific time when my dad had asked me to go plow a field to get ready to plant. Now keep in mind, I had only driven this specific tractor a handful of times, and in the process of plowing that field, I may or may not have drove the tractor into the trees and poked a hole in the grill in the front of the tractor. And when I had to come home and my dad had seen what I had done, he was not happy, to say the least. But once he got over his initial frustration of what I had done, he gave me this quote: "Well, you're not going to mess anything up sitting at the house." Now, contrary to how that may sound, he wasn't telling me just to go home and stop messing things up. He was explaining to me that we're going to try things new, out of our comfort zone, or maybe things we're not familiar with, and we're going to fail, and we're not going to get it right the first time. And yes, maybe if we decided to not do those things, we wouldn't fail, but we wouldn't achieve anything either. That was the most uplifting thing he's ever said to me. Just think about that. He explained to me that if we didn't try anything, we wouldn't fail, but where would we be then? All of these things, the bad times and the good times, come together to write our life song. So let's go back to your song for one last time. Those notes and those verses and those chords all come together to make us who we are. All of our songs are different, made up of different pieces, different experiences had, different lessons learned. But all of them make us who we are, and they all deserve to be heard. So South Carolina FFA, I challenge you to be fearless in writing your life song.
Lee, thank you for being a friend to all of us. We'll never forget your comical relief and your very interesting taste in music. This team would not have been the same without you, Pokey. Love forever. Gracie, Gunner, Ashlyn, Tori, and Addison.